Hi, you guys. Welcome. Hope your moon is treating you well. I just came on for a minute. I did a read last night, and I was it was late, and I was tired, and I was kind of tripping over my words a little bit. So I didn't put it up. I just kind of ended the video. But it was a really nice read. It was a lot of goddesses came in from the cards, a lot of the feminine, and it was about the feminine energy, and and how it's been in the past. It's been kind of, the speaking has been held off by different institutions, or just the way it was back in the day, and women speaking their truth, so to speak, and the truth being the throat chakra came up in the reading as well. And Imhotep came up, which he was a god of medicine and architecture. I think it was architecture. And he was a visionary, and his visions raised him up higher in his life. He was a commoner to begin with, and it raised him up because of his visions. And when he died, he became a god, and he would use his visions to bring in new ideas to put with the old ideas, and kind of come up with something kind of new, which is I think that's a good idea. And I hope this is what we're doing now, to be able to change things a little bit, not because we don't want to do the same thing all over again that we've been doing for centuries, right? And we can't, because our consciousness is expanding, as is the earth, because of the frequency going higher. So I also noticed when I was doing the reading, the past almost 2 weeks, I guess, I've been getting the crescent moons on the cards. I've been noticing the crescent moons, and this card would come up, intuitive awakening, the crescent moon, and then the one on her. And to me, that's like the inner and outer feminine. And rest was coming out with the crescent moon. Hecate was coming up a lot. The main mother, I was getting it all mixed up last night. I know what it is, but for some reason when I go to talk about it, it's like something trips me up. So it's the maiden, mother, and crone, the different phases of oneself, right? And then I was getting all these crescent moons, and then this one came up, realization, where she's going from one into another realm, I guess you can, or just a change in their life, and realizing. It's got the one with the beginnings, and which is actually, when I said that, I just felt that this going into the beginning of 2025, and this being the last full moon. And here's the crescent moon here, and one down here, and one here with the decoration on the cards. And I kept getting these 3 crescent moons, and I had looked them up, and they can also be as goddesses, the crescent moons. So I looked up 3 crescent moons last night, and it being in Gemini last night, the moon. And it had said, this is from Google. It said that this is for yesterday. It was saying, let's see. This is by Fairbanks Museum and Planetarium from Google. Today, this evening, the moon rises in the northeast, nested between Gemini twins, where the moon forms a triangle with the twin stars, Castor and Pollux, their names, which appear to the moon's left, struggling in the moonlight's glow. So I was like, oh, okay, so that's where the three were coming in with the triangle. And then I was reading something else, and they're talking about the moon becoming, like, I guess symbolic, still, and it's a lunar rarity for this moon. 18.6 years our moon reaches the extremes of its orbit around the Earth. The moon rises and sets at its most northern and southerly position on the horizon. This moon rose as far north as it ever does, an event that marks the beginning of a major lunar standstill. So I gotten in one of the readings, past readings I just did, about finding your true north. So I guess it has something to do with the moon too. It can also have something to do with, maybe a Pisces or a Cancer or a Scorpio. It doesn't have to. It can be for anybody. But maybe that's where I had kept getting to follow your true north. Not north, but true north, as like the compass, right? So, let's see. The moon stands still. Let me look that up real quick. The moon stands still. What does that mean? I meant to look this up before I started this, so I would already have it down. Okay, hang on. It is. Let's see what it does. I guess Mars is in retrograde. It's funny, I think I took over my words more with Mars retrograde than I have with Mercury retrograde. See? Retrograde. Okay. What's it say? Why is the December moon so special? The full moon so special? Oh, why is it called a lunar standstill? It's not coming up. Okay, let's see. After 19 years, a major lunar standstill. Let's try and load up. Okay, here it is. Okay. Okay. It's got all kinds of stuff. Standstill. Okay, so we don't want that one. Okay. Oh, here we go. There's the three. Three kept coming up for me too for the past week and a half, 2 weeks or so at least. And hopefully this will come up. And it says for 3 reasons. And I keep finding 3 coming up a lot, which is for me, it has to do with connection with spirit, with God, the strength, and the triangle. This one's having a hard time coming. Oh, here. Wait a minute. Come on, you can do it. January's full moon is called the wolf moon. It'll reach its peak around 5:27 Eastern time on the 13th of January for the next full moon, the wolf moon. Okay, so this is taking a little while to come up. So I'll wait for that to come up. While I'm waiting for that to come up, I just wanted to mention something for some people that are just starting to kind of understand some of the moon and the phases and all that. There's, with the astrology, the different houses, the wheel, Aries, Taurus, and it goes around the wheel like that. And one way you kind of can have kind of a basic feel of what's going to happen, depending on what house you're in for the day or two, that the moon goes through those houses. Of course, you have your whole chart, with different planets, energies, and all involved. But as a basic with the moon, you can kind of have an idea of how you may feel, just generally speaking. So Aries is extroverted energy. It gives extrovert, meaning outgoing, moving, and ready to do things, right? So then it goes Taurus, which is introverted, more inner. And it'll keep going like that, back and forth around the wheel, all the way to Pisces, and then start over again with Aries, the moon. So when you hear the moon is in a certain house, I don't know, let's say Cancer, right? And I think we're in that now. Cancer is watery. It's motion-based, intuition, things not seen. And then from what I just saw in another reading, that they were saying that Aries is in retrograde in Cancer. So you have that emotion, and Aries can be passionate, whether it's in beliefs and leadership and what they do, being quick. It can go from passionate from the heart to aggressive, depending on other energies and what's going on in your life. And that's not just for Aries, or I should say Mars, the energy of Mars. And those born in Aries, which, we all have an Aries somewhere in there. And it's what gets us going, gets us moving. So when you look at the moon being, which is also Cancer's sign, is the moon. It's that motherly, nurturing energy, watery, emotion, intuition. It's, did I say nurturing? I think I did. But it's like a lot of the unknown. And so when it goes into Aries is extroverted at that house. And the moon takes maybe, give or take, 2 days or so to go through each house. And Taurus would be the next house after Aries. So that's an earth sign, and it's introverted. And then the next sign is Gemini, which is extroverted. And then Cancer is introverted and goes back and forth. So you can kind of get an idea a little bit with the introverted and extroverted, how you might be feeling, and depending on your chart, but just as a basic, idea. And if you put that with what house they're in, like each house has their element too. So water is like emotion, that fire is that fiery, moving, assertiveness, passionate, and the air is of the mind. Let's see, I'm forgetting something. Earth, air, water is emotional, and it's the water also has to do with spirit as well, and connection, and it kind of matches up with different chakras and all, like the lower chakras, the elements. These can also feminine and masculine energy comes in there too. the introverted and extroverted. So I just wanted to mention that for those who are just starting. A lot of my stuff with energy and all is good for people who are just beginning. Cancers may be feeling a little bit more than usual because of the moon being in their sign, which is Cancer is moon's ruling star or planet or sphere. Okay, this December full moon isn't just pretty, it's rare. 3 things to know about it. The December full moon is on the rise, and it's an interesting one. The December full moon is on December 15th this year and was 100% illuminated yesterday, I believe. This is Monday, right? Tuesday. So it was on Sunday, I think, that it was totally illuminated. So it says, it follows a string of 3 supermoons, but this one will be a regular size. But what is unique about it is where it's going to rise and set on the horizon, rising and setting at the most northerly and southerly positions on the horizon. The Griffith Observatory in Los Angeles reported it's a phenomenon that only occurs every 18.6 years. Those may be numbers you might be familiar with. This is called a major lunar standstill. It happens, space.com said, because the moon doesn't follow the same path as the sun. Its rising and setting positions on the horizon change constantly due to the movements of Earth and the moon, space.com reported. Here are 3 more fun facts about this moon. It's often called the cold moon, but that's not its only name. Hang on. Okay. It was labeled as the cold moon by the Mohawks because of it. It is the time of year when it starts getting cold outside, according to the Farmer's Almanac. It is also referred to as the Christmas moon or the long night moon, as it rises during the longest nights of the year, according to the Farmer's Almanac. It's got quite a few names. Let's see, the Farmer's Almanac states that the names include drift clearing moon through the Cree, frost exploding trees moon, also through the Cree, Native American, moon of the popping tree, Aglala, Hoer, frost moon through the Cree, snow moon, Haida and Cherokee, winter maker moon, western Abenaki, and then 2 more names. Moon when the deer shed their antlers, Dakotas, and then little spirit moon, Anishinaabe. If I haven't said them correctly, forgive me. You might see some shooting stars while looking at the moon. The bright light of the full moon will make the stars harder to see, but the Gemini meteor shower is happening now. It peaked on December 13th and spits over 100 shooting stars for hours, so there are a lot of chances to wish upon a star. Let's see, how long does it last? An asteroid known as 3200 Pantheon is responsible for the Gemini meteor shower. The shower is unique because it derives from an asteroid, where most meteor showers come from broken up comets. Okay. let's see, it says, NASA stated that the Gemini shower is considered one of the best opportunities for young viewers since this shower starts around 9 or 10 p.m. on a nightly basis. Number 3, the full moon will eclipse Mars. So this might be a couple days ago. I'm not sure. I guess after it was in the house of Aries. Okay. It says for some observers in Central and South America, it will occult the star Beta Tauri, the second brightest star in Taurus, and 3 days later the moon will occult Mars, the website said. And this is through Google on Cape Cod Times. So I thought that was kind of interesting. So I hadn't heard of the standstill before. So I thought I'd just kind of bring that up. And hoping that there's those that understand a little bit about each of the houses and planets and the introvert and extrovert energies that come in on those days and how you might feel to some point, depending on your chart and where all the planets and energies were when you were born. Let's see. Put out a little card here for my god and goddesses. Let's see what comes up. Lots of the goddesses showed up last night on a reading that I had done, and the reading that I was really tired and I was still knowing my words, so I didn't put it up. Okay, Divine Masculine came up. Taught. I had heard that he was supposed to be one that helped teach Jesus. You know, the spiritual knowledge that Jesus had. And then Baba Yaga, patience. So you hold that little seed, waiting for it to grow. Aquarian, we're in Cancer. And Taurus, Gemini, Cancer. Okay. Divine Masculine. Also has to do with, the Divine Masculine also being with grounding and the lower chakras, the earthly chakras, the element chakras, the earth is the root chakra. And then there's the sacral, which is the water chakra. And then there's the solar, which is the sun chakra. And, what am I leaving out? Air. So would that be heart? Connecting. You've got the crane, the white bird. But the Divine Masculine has to do with motivation. Doing those earthly things that we do. It's the movement. The feminine comes in with like ideas and understandings and all that, and then the masculine puts it out, helps put it out, and we have both within each of us. Excuse me. Oh, look at that. That's nice. Aphrodite. Eternal love. Oh, that's nice. It's on Cancer. Cancer full moon. Well, it's the full moon. The full moon's. It is on Cancer full. in Cancer. So I believe we're in the couple days of Cancer. Now, Aphrodite is that loving mother, or maybe spouse or other. That nurturing, loving energy that feels so nice, so heart-based, and it's loving. It's such a nice energy. I believe Aphrodite came from the sea. And Isis, sacred contracts. Okay. Apollo. Okay. End of a cycle, L. And an inner strength. So I have Isis with a sacred contract. So working with something or somebody, some kind of partnership in some way, coming up, or maybe that's ending, or something new beginning. Apollo, divine messages. He's the sun. He was a sun god, Apollo. He has the harp there. The harp is a sign for connection of earth and heaven. It's also for hope. So you have the sun and the moon, on the moon, in Cancer. And divine feminine. What did I say? Divine feminine? Masculine and divine feminine. And then we have an end of a cycle. Hell. Which is coming the end of the year. And then the bottom of the deck is Rhiannon with inner strength. These are a lot of nice cards. Divine messages. Eternal love, sacred contracts, having patience, and the divine masculine. And then one more card off of here is Aditi, expand your consciousness. That's it, it's going to end it. And that's it. So, I have a really nice moon phase going on here, and we have the holidays coming up. Have good holidays, and we're going to be soon starting that new year. This year went by really fast, but it was an interesting year. So you all have a good day. Bye. Thank you.